and expanded. He left the how and for how long unanswered for now, but he offered a hint at big news when he refused to rule out the use of force in Syria.
The current authorization laid open the possibility of going to Syria, although we have not done that. But we'll address issues like that next week when I make a proposal to the House of Commons.
The Prime Minister has been clear he does not want to send Canada to war against the government of Syria, but it appears that going after ISIS in Syria could soon be on the table. In an interview with the CBC News program The House last weekend, Defense Minister Jason Kenney laid out the difficulty military forces are facing in the current campaign in Iraq.
We do know with interest that ISIL is moving much of their armored equipment back into Syria. They appear to be consolidating in and around their ersatz capital of Raqqa in east central Syria.
James Padmore, CBC News, Ottawa.
Two MPs who were suspended from the Liberal caucus in November have been permanently expelled. The move follows accusations of misconduct made by two female NDP MPs. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau is not commenting on the decision today, but he has said earlier that if the claims are found to be legitimate, neither man would be allowed to seek re-election as Liberals. Quebec MP Massimo Pichetti says after 5 electoral victories, he will not run again. Both he and Newfoundland MP Scott Andrews maintain they are not guilty of wrongdoing. Andrews says he plans to fight the expulsion. 22 people are dead and dozens of others injured after an attack at a museum in Tunis. 19 of the victims were tourists from Europe. 2 gunmen also died. The museum is a top tourist attraction and is located close to Tunisia's Parliament building. Navina Kotor reports from Tunis.
From what we understand, there were 2 people dressed as members of security forces who made their way into the museum and who opened fire onto a bus of tourists who arrived to visit the museum. There doesn't seem to be any further threat. I have to say that there are a lot of people here very, very close to the museum, so it seems that the authorities seem to think that it's safe now. We don't know who is behind it. In the past, there have been attacks on members of the security forces. This is the biggest attack on civilians in more than a decade here.
The BBC's Navina Kotor in Tunis. The jury in the trial of 2 men accused in the Via Rail terror plot has reached an impasse after 8 days of deliberations. The men are accused of planning to derail a passenger train traveling from New York to Toronto. The judge has asked jurors to deliberate further and try to reach a unanimous verdict for both the accused. Charles E. Agro has the details.
The jury has found unanimous on all counts for one of the co-accused. However, for this second co-accused, the jury says it's only unanimous on 2 counts and that they cannot come to an agreement on the other counts. We know earlier last night there was a question submitted about the issue of intent. The judge admitted it was a very complicated question and that is a very complex legal issue that the jury is quite clearly struggling with.
The CBC's Charles E. Agro in Toronto. Sliding global oil prices are causing job losses in Alberta's oil patch. Talisman Energy says it's cutting 150 jobs, mostly at its Calgary head office. The company is being taken over by a Spanish firm in the coming months. ConocoPhillips Canada is slashing about 200 jobs, primarily at its Calgary office. And earlier this week, Nexen announced 340 jobs will be lost in its North American operations. And that's the news to this hour from CBC Radio.